Alrighty, good evening, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, fans from all over the world. Welcome to another edition of Mid-States Live. Let me go the other way with the camera there. There we go, I'm a little bit more centered tonight. So, welcome. We're doing things off the webcam tonight, so we're going to be a little bit different. It won't be two people, it'll just be me tonight. Reagan, what's going on? That means I get to type as well and react to everything that you guys do. Reagan, Fred is back from his ISIS campaign tonight, as he looks like his account got hacked. I'm sorry, Fred. But everybody is sitting in, doing well. Before we get started tonight, we've got just a little bit of housekeeping items and a few announcements. So we'll do that here real quick before we get into tonight's show. We will be doing a preview show tonight. We've got several items that are going to be featured tonight. We're going to do a little bit of Johnny. We'll do a little bit of some M2. We're going to feature heavily on some Auto World or on the old Hot Wheels, as we always do. And we've got some previews for you as well. So we're going to have a good time tonight, and we're going to just see some new cars. I think that's what everybody's really hoping and wanting for, so that's what we're going to give you all tonight. Of course, we'll always take your questions and comments, and love to hear from everybody. Q, it's good to see you again. I know you guys have been working hard, and hopefully you're recovering from your boo-boo. So first things up, we are doing a show in Sioux City, August 23rd. Yes, Reagan, there will be some treasure hunts previews tonight. So we'll have those as well. So right now, it's a go. It seems like there's about 10 to 18 people that are interested in going. We have at least 8 tables signed up. So, you know, we're still taking reservations. Please get a hold of Brent or Fred or myself, preferably Brent, because I will not be there. And the reason is we will be taking Parker to Colorado to get him all settled back for school. So again, I apologize for not being there, but boys gotta take priority here. So with that, as far as the 23rd goes, there is no fee for anything. So you get to go for free. There's no trader fee. There's no entrance fee. We just think that as a way to continue to have a show where we're using somebody's facilities, we didn't think it would be right to charge you guys anything. So we're not charging any prices on anything. This is strictly a way for us to keep getting together and without losing anything. So that's why we're doing that. The other big thing with the 23rd is that we don't have tables. So if you want to sell, I can't stress this enough, you need to bring tables. We just don't have the tables, and Aaron doesn't have that many tables, and the cost to rent tables was a little pricey. So our overall goal is to try to keep funds in the kitty so that we can get our shirts done, because that's honestly the second highest priority other than just getting together. Yep, we'll talk about tables again. I can't stress this enough. If you want to sell, you need to bring your own tables. There might be a handful that Aaron has available, but some of his folks want to sell too, so I cannot stress it enough. You need to bring your own tables. With that, there are probably a couple of cars left for those who want a club car that didn't get one, or if they want an extra one. We do have maybe 2 left. I know Mark Coolman said he wanted one up in Sioux Falls, if he goes to Sioux Falls. So if those are gone, then that's it. That's all we've got left. Other than that, I think that takes care of house cleaning items. So, like I said, we're going to have a preview show tonight, and we are previewing some Hot Wheels, some Johnny Lightning, some M2 as well. And we're going to talk about the premium lines because we are going to have a lot of premiums coming out. If you haven't seen them already or heard about them, we're going to talk about them tonight. And so let's get started. Yes, Josh, we are working the t-shirt avenue very hard. As soon as we get something going or solid for that, we will let everybody know. All right, so first up, let me get this moved over here. We're going to talk about preview. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about tonight is a set of cars that's coming up. Actually, we're going to focus on a super treasure hunt. And what I'm doing is I'm going to paste the link in there for where I got the info. And it's no surprise, really, it's T-Hunted. We all know that they do most of the previews. And we're going to talk about that car a little bit tonight. Let me get back over there. Oops, we'll go back there. And so I think that's the Supra, or the RX-7 Supra that link is for. Yep, and clearly it is a pretty awesome car. I like it because it's the Japan stuff. We all know that I like the Japan cars. And there we go, starting to work up. Oh, let me get to that. Then you can go to the link and it talks about all of that as well. And then I'm going to drop the picture in here. Hopefully it'll put that in there as well. So you guys can talk amongst yourselves about said RX-7. Oh, no, I don't have that. So you'll have to go to the article to read about the RX-7. I think this is the first time that version of the RX-7, the 95, has been used as a super treasure hunt, and it seems like the last 2 or 3 years that A or B case has had a JDM Super in it. So for you JDM fans, there you go. I think this is going to be pretty nice. I like the color already. Looks like it might be a metal flake or a Spectra Flame. So I'd be interested to see what wheel choice it's going to be. And there you go. There's your first preview for tonight. So as far as super treasure hunts go, what are your guys' thoughts on cars that they should do? I think this year they did a pretty good job of going across the entire spectrum of cars and sticking to cars only and no fantasy cars. So I'll give everybody a second here to type something up or comment questions before we move on to the next preview. And how many people are excited to want to go to do another show? I feel like it's been a couple of months since we've gotten to see each other in person. I know some of us have seen each other at regionals and then at Aaron's Trade Day. But I really just miss hanging out with y'all and having fun. So I am definitely wanting to see that again. Yes, the Thunder Roller Brent would be an excellent choice. Never go wrong with semis, ever. So I am down with that. Yep, muscle cars are a good choice too there, Reagan. Um, as far as that goes, I'd like to see something more of the GTO line or a GTX or a post 70 6970 Challenger or Charger. You know, I want to see maybe the Barracuda Formula S, just different cars than your typical 67 Camaro, 69 Mustang, 70 Dodge Charger. You know, I'd like to see something like that. Maybe a Corvair or a 65 Mustang, either fastback or convertible. That would be cool. That's just my thoughts on the whole muscle car era. The C10 Skyline would be cool as well. I'd like to see that from a JDM's perspective. All right. Anybody else? What did you guys think of this year's Supers? I thought they were pretty good. I think they did a great job. So, Ann Murph is with us as always tonight. She's laying down and being a good puppy. Super V would be nice, Reagan. I would agree with that. And a Grand National Super. Yeah. I think, Aaron, you are hitting something right on the head. That car has been done in the premium line several times, but it has never gotten the super treatment. And yes, an opening hood would be very cool. Hold on one second. Puppy wants out. You want to go see if Mom's here? She'll probably come back. All right. Opening hoods. Yeah, I like the moving parts stuff that they've been putting out here lately. Again, gives you a throwback to the old days. Okay. If there's no other comments or questions on an 80s Monte Carlo SS, yes. As long as it doesn't have any cowled hoods. Just make it a strict 87, 88 Aero Coupe. I like an Aero Coupe. Put that up there. But, I mean, it could be an Aero Coupe 442, Aero Coupe Grand Prix. It could be any of those. I'd be down with that. All right. So the next thing that's up is High Racer GTO Super or a flat out 442. I like both of those. I don't think the mold, well, they do have the 442 because they did it for the flying colors. So yeah, that's a possibility. Okay. All right. So the next thing, again, we're borrowing everything from T100. I know it's kind of lazy, but I couldn't pass it up. All right. So the next thing, we're going to talk about a Johnny Lightning, and this is a car, my personal dreams, and I would love to have one of these maybe. They don't get the love or respect that they deserve, and that's a damn shame. And it is the 91 Dodge Stealth. They have this in two colors. Oh, it won't let me. It won't let me do it. Shoot. It will not let me post a picture in there, but basically you'll see it right there. They have the 91 Dodge Stealth or Mitsubishi 3000 GT, depending on who you talk to. I think this is the first attempt at Dodge trying to do a muscle car, post-muscle car era. Had cab forward design in it, and I thought it was a really cool car. They're not very well liked, and they didn't last very long, but I thought they were cool. So it's nice to see that Johnny's doing something that isn't the norm or typical, but it comes in red and it comes in blue. The preview also shows a couple other new Johnny Lightnings that are coming out, but again, to me, this was the highlight, I think, the 91 Stealth. So with the awesome rear spoiler that's right underneath the back window. Yeah, Ed, I would like to see High Rakers back too. I think all the vintage stuff would be really, really nice. Get people interested and pumped up in some of the older things. But the High Rakers are pretty cool. All right. So, well, any questions, comments on the Stealth here, or any of the other Johnnies that are featured? Here. So it looks like they have a Mazda Miata in a light blue and a maroon or a rusty brown, maybe root beer color. So, you know, there's those two cars as well. Personally, my favorite is the Stealth. The Stealth was, I think, ahead of its time, but that's just my 2 cents. Okay, so we're going to go change subjects a little bit. We'll talk some RLC now before we get into our next couple of previews. So selections, looking at the calendar for RLC, for those of you who are members of the RLC, you just go to the forums section and you'll see the calendar. On the calendar, selections ordering process is set to begin August 25th and it ends the 31st. So with that, you get to order all week long your Willys Gasser. There is no limit to the number of cars that you can buy, as long as your wallet can afford it. Understand that you probably will not be getting those cars for another year, so if you move or you get a new debit card or a new credit card, make sure that you update that info with Mattel before the deadline, which is sometime in February, I think. February or March, they'll make an announcement. Otherwise, you're going to be like me, and I had to call Mattel because I had I think they give you 10 days to make those changes. Otherwise, your order gets canceled. And that would have been depressing. So the important part here, you have a week to order your car. You can order as many as you want. Make sure your credit card info is good and up to date with your numbers and your address before the deadline in February. And I use February. It could be later, it could be earlier, but pay attention to the forums. They'll give you a more solid date when it gets closer. And if you have not seen what the selections car is this year, it's a 41 Willys Gasser in ice blue. I don't think they've settled on the name. There are some questions about copyrighting the name. So if they have, I haven't seen it yet, but something to keep an eye out on. The car is gorgeous. I think it'll make a great addition to the rest of the Willys Gassers. So if you have an RLC membership, I highly recommend you buying it, because this is your car that you get to pick everything out on, even if you don't win or your vote didn't go through or didn't go the way you want. You still got to pick some of the options for it. So there you go. And if you know somebody who wants that car but doesn't have an RLC membership, this is where you can help somebody out and get the car, and then they'll pay you whatever you work out amongst yourselves. That way everybody can get a car. So this is one way to help people who don't have memberships or who don't necessarily get to participate in the sales on Tuesdays, now you have a chance to help them out. The other thing that was coming up on the live sales was on September 15th. The C10 sale is slated to begin. So this is going to be, I think it's an adjustable suspension one, just like the one from last year. I'm sure it'll have an awesome two-tone paint job like last year's did. So be on the lookout for that. You know, that pickup is very sought after and desired. Okay. Any questions? Any comments? Any concerns? Yeah, Ed, even though the memberships are sold out for RLC, the opportunity to get a selections car is a little bit easier because members can buy as many cars as they want. So if you don't have a membership, reach out and find out if somebody does and see if they're willing to work with you to get a car for you. So I'm sure there's several people here that would help out if given the opportunity. So even though memberships are sold out for RLC this year, you can still, there's still a good chance that you could get a selections car. So good question. Hopefully I answered that for you, and see if we can help some folks out along the way. So I'll hang out here for a few seconds before we move on to the next topic. Oh, thanks, Brent. I did not see what that final casting name was. And yes, you're absolutely right, Aaron. If this is where it pays off to be nice and to help each other, and this is what we're about here in this club, is to help other people get things they want. And selections is one of those times, because there is no limit. You can buy as much as you like. Just remember that, that you have a week to do it. So there's no need to slam the servers on Tuesday at 11 Central Time to get your order in. You have all week. C10 is blue and white. Thank you, Brent. Yes, the RLC membership will open up in 2021. There will be an announcement about that probably late December, early January. For that, they'll give dates. Last year it was a first come, first serve, but the sale usually opens in February. I don't know, it seems like the last couple of years it's changed with the rules on when when it opens up and who can order and order when. Hopefully they learn, they take into consideration people that have been here a very long time, and let those guys get a chance to fill their orders in as well. The popularity of collecting has gone up, so hopefully, maybe they'll open up more orders. Maybe a few people will not renew, and so on and so forth. So it's advantageous to try to get those in February. If we know the dates, we will put them out as always, so that way our membership knows and can figure out if they want to try to obtain one. But good questions again by everyone, and thank you, Brent, for giving those updates on those colors and dates. Okay. So we talked about the Auto World and Johnny with the Dodge Stealth. The next one we're going to talk about is an M2. And I don't usually collect M2, but I thought this one was kind of cool. Aaron pointed it out to me, I think late last week or early this week. But I think this is a really cool piece. Uh, every brand has done military vehicles in some way, shape, or form. I think this one's cool because it's got a 50 caliber machine gun loaded in the back, just like they did in World War II. So, pretty cool piece. I'm sure you can unscrew it and it can come off there. But, you know, it's in Army drab green, so it's all ready for the European theater, World War II decoration and whatnot. So, again, a really cool piece. I like the fact that M2 went back to World War II days. Johnny did a whole series, and in fact, they're still releasing some right now for their greatest generation, and they have dioramas and planes and tanks and, you know, all sorts of things. So very, very cool. Very cool piece. All right, Ed. Well, you have a good night, and thanks for popping in again. And hopefully we'll see you at the next show, whether that's in Sioux Falls or Sioux City or at a later date. So we will see you then. All right, so we were talking about the M2 truck, or the Jeep per se. I'm hoping that the windshield folds down like a real Jeep would. But again, it's got the mounted 50 caliber machine gun in it. I think that's pretty cool. Okay. And while we're at it, we talked about what we're doing for the club show here in Sioux City on the 23rd and why I'm not going to be there. So in my absence, Brent and Joe Zahn are going to be, along with Fred, are going to be your points of contact during the show, and they're the ones that are going to solve any issues or any questions that you might have. So reach out to them. They have lots of good knowledge, and they're wanting to help and make sure everything goes as well along as needed. And I will miss you guys. I really wish I could go, but we got to take care of the boy. The boy needs to get himself settled in Colorado, get ready for his new school year. He's moving to a different school from UNL, so we will be thinking of you guys, and we want you all to have fun while we're out there. We'd like to thank Aaron Plum and Bill and Moose's Excellent Collectibles for hosting us. We tried several different ways to make things work here in Norfolk or in Omaha, and it just didn't work out. Either lack of facilities, lack of equipment, that kind of just didn't make it work. So we either had plenty of room and no tables, or plenty of room and plenty of tables, but they wanted too much money, so we had to come up with something that would be attractive to everybody. And I'd like to really thank Aaron for letting us use the sign shop again. We feel that it's a place that is comfortable for everyone. It's a place people know. It's a place where it's pretty central for most of our membership to come. So we will go from there. Right now, Brent will have a couple tables. PJ said he will have a couple tables. There are, I think, the diecast shop at Aaron's will be open. Fred will have a couple tables, and I think there was one other. Oh, Kenton and Braxton will have a couple tables. So let's go support these folks who want to put this together. And, you know, we just want to keep things moving because we don't know if it'll all be taken away from us again and we get put down into a semi-lockdown again. So let's get together, have fun while we're doing it, and enjoy each other's company and the world of diecast. So I wish everybody to have a good time, find some stuff, help each other out, because I just don't know if and when we'll be able to meet again under the current circumstances. Now, with that being said, I want to make it clear, the club is not in any way, shape, or form closing down or not going to have any more shows. What I'm saying is that unless the current health situation, which I don't feel is that bad, doesn't change, I mean, we're kind of at the mercy of our local governments. So Omaha is getting a little bit more stricter, so is Lincoln, about gatherings and things like that. So that kind of prevents us. Here in Norfolk, it's not really so much an issue, but it's a meeting place. That's our issue here. Sioux City, I can't really 100% speak to that, but it sounds and looks like everything is even opening up more than it already was, and there's no signs of increase of the virus or anything like that. If Aaron, you want to chime in or correct me if I misspoke somewhere, but you know, we're really just kind of at the mercy of our local governments right now, which is, you know, they're doing the best to support and make sure everybody stays safe, but at the same time, yeah, we'd like to get going too. So that's enough of my preaching for tonight. So come on out. I really don't want to cancel things. You know, I think we've got a good group, good show, and just some great people to hang around with. So come on out here August 23rd. All right, so let's do one other thing before we get into the big preview that everybody wants to talk about, I'm sure, is the Sioux Falls show. That is this Sunday in Sioux Falls. It is, for those who haven't seen it, we do have an event invite on our page. It was put together by our admin, Mr. Joe Zahn, and it will be in, I have the location on there. It should be a good show. It's supposed to have 27 vendors, 65 tables. I got pictures today of it. It looks nice. It looks clean. It looks like it's been recently renovated, so there might be a little bit of work in progress, but I don't think it'll be anything to detract from the show. So with that, I wish everybody to come if you feel safe and want to come. It's free entry, free, no cost for tables. So as a seller, hey, that's great. You know, your only time and money is what you spend and what it costs to get you up there. So I say take advantage of it. Another good big show is very helpful to progressing our overall goals of getting maybe a nationals or a vendor, not a vendor truck, but the Legends Tour vending machine truck here in our area. So we have to keep showing the folks at Mattel, folks that have contact with Mattel, that yes, we're moving things in the right direction. So if you get the opportunity, come on out. It's from, I believe it's 10 to 3 or 11 to 3, but the hours are on the invite. By all means, come on out. They'll have the address and directions are on there as well. Again, it's free entry, free tables. There's 65 tables, 27 vendors. It's what I was told, that there was an interest of about 200 to 300 people. So looks like it's going to be a good show. So come on and take advantage of it before things start to get colder and not be so much fun here once winter sets in. Okay, I plugged that show. If you have any more questions for that, contact Don Englund. He is the one that is coordinating and hosting that show. And let's get on to the big preview, because it is quite large. We've got the premium preview. So we'll get that loaded up. I'm going to come back to these questions here. I just saw them as well. So thank you, Brent, for the updated hours. Yeah, they are 11 to 5. So I remember that. I think setup is at 9:15 for those that are going to the show. Leslie, the show that I'm talking about, two separate shows. First show is this weekend in Sioux Falls that Don Englund is hosting. It is this is his show. It looks like he's got a good group of folks there. The invite, let me see if I can go grab that here and post that up. So that might clear up some of the confusion for you. And boom. Let me get over to the Mid-States page. It's under our event page. Again, you want the one that was slated by Joe. He put that up there for us. And I'm going to copy this link here, and I'm going to put it in there so everybody can see it. Okay, we're backtracking just a hair, but this is the link to the event invite for the Sioux Falls show. If anybody wants to access that, and there you go. It is available. Okay. Let's get into the premium preview. And then Leslie, our 23rd show down at Aaron's Sign Shop, that'll be our normal 10 to 3 gig. Doors open at 8:30 for setup. Okay, so now let's talk about the preview for all the new premium line cars, to include car culture, entertainment, boulevards, and yes, team transport, because there was some questions about whether or not there was going to be any more. So there's the link to it, folks, and it is a big list. And it all starts off with some wagons. And there are some new castings and one casting that hasn't been named yet. So the 850 estate wagon, I am looking forward to that. I think it's going to be pretty cool. This will be the first time it'll be in Real Rider along with the Audi wagon. And the new casting is the Volvo Amazon wagon. There are pictures to some of these as well. You'll just have to go to T100's website to take a look at those. But some very cool castings in there. And we will be seeing some new stuff. I am looking forward to that Amazon wagon. I think that's going to be one of the coolest. The estate wagon is going to be pretty awesome as well. All right, so see if there's any questions, comments, and we'll get into the next round of car culture. So after that, they're going to go into what's called a German car culture. Yeah. And there is going to be some new castings with that as well. They're going to do the M3 E46, which is, I think, a 2010, which will be awesome because I had a E46, but it wasn't an M3 though. It's just a puny 328i 6-speed. The Audi S4, I think that's a new casting as well. And the Mercedes AMG 300 SEL. Brent is probably in heaven thinking about that one. Oh, we get the other Hetrick brother. You're watching. I feel like I'm watching from a prison camera angle. All right, we're working on things here. Thanks for the commentary there, Brian. Now, let's see. So yeah, I think the coolest one for me is going to be the E46 because I had an E46. Brent is going to love that 300 SEL. I'm interested to see what they do with the 959, and the T1 is the T1. We all know what that's going to be. All right. Yeah, Benz. Yeah, he's doing the happy dance. I can see it right now. If we could film it, we would. Brent doing the happy dance. Yeah, Brian, that Benz is going to be, I think it's going to be pretty cool. It is going to be very, very cool. So that wraps up the German car culture, and then we're going to go into exotics, which, you know, there's some really cool cars in here, but I don't think anything really jumps out to me. There'll be a Huracan. The Valhalla is a new casting as well. The Chiron will get its first treatment of real riders. And then the Vulcan. The Vulcan's pretty cool in and of itself. Nice big wing. And then the McLaren Senna. So, you know, Antonio would probably love this set. This is a very cool set for him. This is cars up his alley. It'll be interesting to see what they do with this set, but again, not one that I'm personally looking for, but we'll see how they come out. And that was, oops, scrolled the wrong way. That was the exotic set, so we'll move on from there. And the next one is something called Sideways with the Z. And in there, I think this set's going to be pretty cool, actually. There's some really nice cars in here. There's some that this is only the second time they've been used, particularly for the Supra and the Subaru. I think these will be pretty sought after. I mean, if you're a tuner guy, you're going to love it. I think the RTR wide body Mustang is going to be the big one out of that. And then there's one car they haven't revealed yet, so might be a new casting, might be something we've seen before, but it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. But I think the Mustang wide body is going to be the car to have out of that group. Any comments, questions, concerns? Any other awesomeness that we got to discuss before we move on to the next? All right, boys, behave. All right, so before we get on to the next one, we're going to talk about Hypertrucks. Now, they have not done a straight truck series for a while now. They did the shop trucks, and then they did the original kind of classic looking trucks, those were some pretty cool ones as well. So the Trophy Baja truck, I'm not sure what that's supposed to be modeled after, but the two really cool ones for me are the 20 Ford Bronco and the 20 Jeep Gladiator. Two brand new trucks that are being done. Everybody seems to have loved the new Bronco so far, so this will be the first time that vehicle is going to be done, period. So I'm interested to see how that comes up. I think it'll be pretty cool. Not a Ford guy, but I will say that I am excited to see that Bronco. And again, another car that they have not released, so makes me wonder what it's going to be. Hopefully it's a Power Wagon. I'd really like to see a Power Wagon. Hint, hint, another Power Wagon, preferably a 70. Okay. And then Entertainment Mix 2. I think there's some rehashes here for the most part. Super Pursuit Mode kit, we've already seen what that is. So, again, that's kind of disappointing. It's a rehash. The Koenigsegg, I'm glad they're redoing this. That car got a limited run during the first Need for Speed and is really desirable. So I think this is a great opportunity for folks to get that car again without having to pay some of the secondary market prices for it. The Skyline Ht 2000 GT, I'm kind of looking forward to this. I just hope it's not an exact copy of the Fast and Furious. One, hopefully there's a little bit more detail or different detail than what the other one is. And again, two cars they haven't named yet, so maybe it's something new, which I really would like. But we'll have to wait and see. A mouse crawling up one of my displays. There's a raccoon that is made by my grandpa that's on top of one of my displays. I don't know what you're talking about there. But there is a green flashlight that's, oops. You got to do the opposite. But there's a green flashlight that turns on when the lights go dark. But there's no Mises to pieces. Good try, Brian. Klein, good try, but you failed. Let's see. We're on to mix 3 here for entertainment. Another kit. The Deadpool Scooter, I really wish pictures would work. I will post that one. I will post all the pictures later, but the Deadpool Scooter, I think that's going to be pretty cool. Just to see him in the red suit riding around on it, you'll like the picture if you haven't seen it already. There's a Porsche 911 GT3 RS, which will be a pretty cool car in and of itself. And then one other car they haven't named. Mix 4. Yeah, good try. I love it though. Good effort though. Mix 4. Another Aston Martin Valhalla, so that means that car is going to be done twice in Real Riders. Gas Monkey Garage Corvette, I think we all know what that is, and then 3 more cars that haven't been named. Boulevard Mix 2. All right, so I think there's going to be some really good cars in here. I did not pull the Corvette drag car in here on the pictures that I'm going to preview, but it is on the T-Hunted page for if you go to the link that I provided. The GNX is going to be pretty cool, and the Custom Firebird is going to be awesome as well because I think that's going to be Brendan Tusky's personal car. It would be nice to see that in Real Riders, and a Porsche 964, and another car they have not yet named. So again, I think that's a good mix right there for Boulevard Mix 2. A 75 Ford F-150 without the rack, so that's going to be cool. That's the Boulevard Mix 4. The other versions of that have a utility rack and that clips in and out of it. I think the Car Culture version had it along with the entertainment from Close Encounters of the Third Time. So it'll be nice to see what that car looks like without a rack. Fourth Runner, I just wonder if that's really a Toyota 4Runner. And then they're going to have a Coffer Racer, and then again 2 more cars that they have not mentioned. So maybe it's some new castings that they're working on. Be cool to see what we got here. All right, any other comments, questions, or concerns before we get into the last little group? Because I know Aaron had asked me this question, or we were talking about it somewhere, whether or not there was going to be any more Teams transports. And to answer your question, The short answer is yes. So we'll see what we've got here. Looks like there's going to be 3 mixes of team transport going forward. First thing is something called a Dakota Drifter, so I'm interested to see what that is, along with a 2018 Dodge Challenger SRT Demon. So who knows what that's going to be like. It'll probably be in Dodge Red. Then some sort of generic 40s transport, and then a 32 Ford. I think that's going to be pretty cool. Then a Euro transport with a Porsche 917K. And from the looks of it, that Porsche might be in a Gulf Deco. So we'll see. But I think those are 3 solid cars there and transporters to start the year out with. Mix 2 is going to have something called a Wide Open and a Baja Bug. And then the second car is going to be, again, the Dakota Drifter. So whatever that is, it's not brand specific because it will be hauling a 74 Chevrolet Vega Pro Stock. That'll be cool because the Pro Stock, that Vega Pro Stock hasn't been used, I think, except for the Vintage Racing set and maybe one other. So that'll be nice to see that casting come out again. The Vintage Racing one was pretty cool. And then they'll have a they'll have the Fleet Flyer and the Subaru Impreza 22B STI. I really hope this Impreza is either a rally race version or a road course car. I'd rather see that than just a generic, nice painted Impreza. I want to see something with the Subaru Deco, either as a rally or in a GT class type Deco. All right. And finally, the last set is going to be a carry-on with the Corvette C8 IMSA, which the picture for that was pretty cool too. And then you'll have an aero lift with a VW IDR, which I don't know what that is. But I would assume that it's going to be something pretty cool. It's a VW. That should make a lot of people happy. And the last one is it's called a rally van, but it's a new tool, and they're going to use something existing already. So we'll see what that one is. I think it's going to be a total surprise. Again, everything that I previewed tonight for you guys has come from T100. And if you want to see a little bit closer, please click on the links as well. And that is really all I've got for tonight. We've got about 6 minutes before we're done, unless anybody's got any comments, questions, or concerns, or any follow-up questions to anything that we got before the end of the night here. We'll take them. Yes, I would love to see Doc Brown's van because it's the only thing that has not been done as far as the as far as Back to the Future goes in general. That would be awesome to have the time machine in there as well. So, hey, Brian, talk to Manson, make some shit happen. Let's make this work. But Doc Brown's van and the DeLorean would be cool. Yep, Biff's car full of manure. Or you could do the diorama with the stake bed and it leaning against the poo. That would be cool as well. Um, there's so many other cars that could be done from movies. I want to see the Coyote done from Hardcastle and McCormick, but I think that's going to be a long shot too. So any other comments, questions, or concerns? I'm really looking forward to this weekend and going to Sioux Falls. I think that's the potential to be a very good show. I want it to be successful because it's another potential big show. Yes, the Chevy Love with his detailing would be cool. There's really, they got most of those cars done. The only thing I haven't seen is that Chevy Love, his 2015 car, and they have not done the BMW, which I think was a 5 or a 7 series that Marty's dad had. So any of those would be really nice to have in there. Retro entertainment, I think, has kind of suffered, kind of fallen to the wayside because of car culture, but there are some really good movie cars that have not been done. Speaking of a team transport, you could do Smokey and the Bandit. That has not been done. I'd like to see some of the police cars from Smokey and the Bandit done also. I don't know what else. The Dodge Daytona from the series Hunter would be cool. Not a lot of people know about that. More of the cup cars from Stroker Ace would be cool as well. Or let's see, what other ones is there? Oh, Ricky Bobby, do those. Try to redo the Matchbox Days of Blunder cars. So there's lots of retro cars that haven't been done that need to be done. The Fall Guy pickup is kind of needing to be done as well. So if there's nothing else tonight, we will wrap this up and we'll go from there. Fast and Furious Junkyard Super on a rollback. Yes, I totally am digging that one, Brian, because that is at the core of all of it. That is, that car's got to get done. Along with the 3 black Supras, that needs to get done too. And there's another diorama you could do. You can have them do one of the heist scenes with that. I am happy that they're doing the Honda NSX finally. That car needed to be done as well. So Fast and Furious Junkyard Supra on the rollback would be excellent. That car's. I have to agree with you, Brian. That car's got to get done. And with that, I think that's going to conclude things for tonight, unless anybody else has got any last-minute alibis. Don't forget, from 11 to 5 on Sunday in Sioux Falls is the show that Don England is hosting. And remember, it's free to get in, free to set up. I believe it's all sold out. 65 tables, 27 vendors. Come on out. I think this is going to be a great show. If not, then you got next week to come hang out with us. And hell, that's just worth it in and of itself. All right, nothing but peace and love. 2 fingers, I'm out. Y'all have a good night.